This is do or die. This cat here. Hi loves, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, my name is Enquiries-rekia. I think this is actually the first time I mentioned my surname, but then you can just call me Rekia. Yeah, so I actually just finished creating this look for Instagram, and I was like, why not do this story time that has been bagging, you know. I have a lot of story times I want to tell you guys, but then I was like, okay, let me start with this one. By the title you already know what I'm talking about, and that's the masquerade. I was chased by a masquerade. That was really crazy. That was a day out. That was one of the days I will never forget, honestly. And this actually happened when I was a little girl. I would even say, I don't know, if I think I was between the ages of 9 and 10, or I was even 9. I don't think I was 10 yet. Yeah, I don't think I was 10, even 8. Yeah, I'm not getting that wrong, because I know I left Nigeria when I was yes, sorry, this actually happened in Nigeria. So on this day where we lived, we used to have a lot of problems with water, so we have to go a long distance or go to you know, a place where they sell water, and then we fetch water from there, if you get what I mean. I know the Nigerians know what I'm even talking, even the Ghanaians. Yeah, so on this day, and you know the funny thing, even though I was really little, I used to sort of like it when I see the grown-ups fetching water. It was something I used to fancy, sort of. So I also wanted to do it, so I started forcing my mom, and then I started doing it at an early stage. So that day we didn't have water, and it was on a weekend. Yes, it was on a Sunday. Exactly, it was on a Sunday. And during this period is the masquerade period. We do have oral period and the masquerade. With that oral one, I'm going to be telling you guys a really crazy story time. If you really know about oral, you don't know about oral, please go and do your research about it, so that when I start, I mean, you would kind of know what I'm talking about here. So let's put that aside. This time is the masquerade period, and within this period, normally you would see masquerades around, you know, holding canes. When they approach you, you have to give them money. If you don't give them money, they'll cane you. I mean, I don't know, but that is what I grew up with, and that's what we, the kids, we used to believe. So we didn't used to go near the masquerade. In fact, the masquerade hardly comes closer to children. Maybe when they see a group of people sitting down, and oh, sorry, there's a little child crying. That's my neighbor's child, by the way. When they see a group of people sitting down, they then approach a group of people and they demand for money. But then about the caning thing, I don't think, but I mean, that's what we used to see even in movies. If they approach and their cane is very long, and with this cane, if they used to whip you, I don't think you remember your name again. So on this Sunday, we didn't have water, and then my mom was like, okay, oh, was it my mom or I took the initiative of going to fetch water? So, but then let me give you a little backstory. Whilst in school during the weekdays, there's this boy who I heard normally wears the masquerade attire and then go around. But I was like, oh no, why would someone so small? I mean, this is normally for grown-ups. You get what I mean? This is normally for grown-ups. So why would a little boy, I mean someone of my age, also wear it? And then who would even give him that authority? Because those things I know are very spiritual, and though it depends on your level of spirituality, I mean, when you believe in it, if you get what I mean. Because as at that time I was still a Muslim. Now I'm a Christian, by the way. So so this guy was like, oh, he will come and see me, like when he wears it, he'll come and show it to me, he will chase me, you know, that kind of childish talks. I was like, oh no, you can't do me anything. And mind you, there's one attitude I have, and you guys are going to see that trait in every story time I tell, because later on when I think about it, I just laugh. I'm very strong-willed. Like, I feel like, don't dare me. I don't know if it has to do with my zodiac sign, because I'm an Aries actually. I feel no one should dare me. Like, I don't know, I have that strong will, that strong hearted thing, but then I do have really soft heart. I'm telling you, I'm very emotional. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, don't tell anyone, I'm very emotional. So I don't even know how I'm laughing now, because that day was crazy, you know. And then, he kept telling me that, oh, he would come, and then his other friends, these male friends. I used to have male friends even when I was a kid, and then I had these two best friends I used to roll with. So they were like, oh, they'll come and see me. I said, oh no, you can't, there's no way. So they were even mentioning them. So that day we actually had a full discussion about this masquerade thing, and how, and the funny thing is they were real Yorubas. Although we lived among the Yorubas, but then they know more about the culture because their parents are, into this cultural stuff. So that they said a lot about it, and they even mentioned the names of areas where they'll be going around, But I was like, oh no, these people, they are just saying their own thing. So back to the present day of when this thing happened. I was going to fetch water, and then there's this part where there's a mechanic shop around there, but mostly on Sundays they do not come, but sometimes you get someone once in a while. And the funny thing about that place too is it's located where there are trees, and it's kind of bushy, and it gets very quiet. I'm telling you, you cannot walk there in the night. It's so scary. So during the afternoon at least, or the morning time, everywhere is sort of bright, and it feels safe. And normally too, there's always this conscious thing I always check before using that route, and that's the only route. No, we have another route, but the other side is so long, you cannot use that road. I mean, unless you're going to use the road side, and that path is just too long, so I can't. The thing with that mechanic side too is there's this a bridge there, and it has this how do I don't know how to give this description. There's a road before that mechanic, before you walk a little bit, before you meet the second mechanic, before you then cross to the place where we fetch the water. So when I was crossing the first road closer to where I stay, not a road, not like the road where, because like not like that tiled road, sort of thing. It was just this rough road that people can take shortcuts, sort of. That small, it was actually a rough road. You just cross like this, and then it's a very small road. It's not a very big road, it's very narrow. So whilst I crossed there, everywhere was so quiet, but I was like, okay, let me go. Maybe, I'm sure, because with this on Sundays sometimes you do have the workers, maybe one or two around, so, and they are meant to do so. That kind of gives me courage, So I used that road, and then it felt like I saw something like a masquerade, but I wasn't too sure. I was like, oh, today's Sunday, everywhere is so quiet, I don't think these people will come around. I mean, what would they be doing? My dear, before I realized, after I crossed the first mechanic shop, mind you, I mentioned earlier on that the second mechanic shop, I don't know if I specified that it was the second, but then that mechanic shop is located where there are trees. In fact, the first mechanic shop also has trees, but then with the second mechanic shop, it has a lot of trees. And then there's this bridge there that is open only, and they've used this I don't know, this roofing sheet. I even have a cut on my leg, and that was as a result of it. I don't know if I can show you guys this cut here. It's actually as a result of this. So I don't even want to think more. I saw something like a masquerade. Sorry, I was a bit distracted. I saw something like a masquerade, and then whilst walking, I was like, oh, I saw one worker around the first mechanic shop, so that gave me sort of hope. So leading to the second mechanic shop, that place is quite dark because the trees is covering, most of the light spaces that is supposed to be there. And even on these trees we have guava and those plants, those fruits, and of which sometimes I and my sibling, especially my brother, and then our neighbors, our landlord's kids, go there to pluck guava, even when it's not ripe. My dear, the number of unripe guava I've eaten, uncountable. But then that's very bad, So getting to that side, I could hear somebody approaching me from behind, but when I turn, I don't see anyone. Whenever I turn, I'm like, okay, then maybe it's just the trees making noise. Getting close to where the bridge is, that was when I saw this masquerade. It was just one, and mind you, with this masquerade, they mostly don't work alone. They work in groups, and then they have these drums that they hold, and then they beat this drum. So that's what they do, and then like they do, is a display sort of thing. I don't know if you go on Instagram, you don't catch egungun, be careful na express you they go. I remember they used to even play those sort of song, egungun is masquerade, so that time is egungun time. Egungun in Yoruba is masquerade, yeah. So so when I was close to where the bridge is, that they've used that kind of roofing, stainless roofing sheets to cover, and then they place some wood on top, but it's not really stable. So whenever I'm even carrying my water there, I have to be very careful, and then this roofing sheet is also rusted, and tetanus, that's very, very unhygienic and dangerous for my health and well-being. So getting close to that, I realized that this masquerade was coming after me. I was like, why would this masquerade come after me? I mean, they don't normally come close to kids, and this one was without any drum, but it was with a cane. Normally they have a cane and then they have a drum, of which the drum they beat it and then they dance with it. So after they display and then show off, that's when you have to give them something, if you get what I mean. And they normally go to this grown-up. I mean, as a kid, what? And then I realized that this masquerade was coming, and I was alone on that road. So I started running. I was like, I'm sure what's really hurt if I start running and it's not even after me. Who is there? I forgot that I didn't close my door. It's like someone is there. I'm expecting someone though, but I don't know. I wasn't even up to where the ceiling stain is. I was close to that side, so I just told myself, after all, it wouldn't hurt if I ran. If this masquerade is not after me, why would I, it wouldn't do anything. I mean, it would just see that, okay, maybe this girl is scared. When I started running, I turned back and this masquerade was also after me. Come and see. And with this masquerade I'm going to show you guys a little picture here of how masquerade really looks like. I don't know if anyone did. This is egungun. This masquerade started chasing me. Thank God I have long legs, I was chinglinging and then I could move my body. I wasn't the fat type of person. So I started running. I was like, oh my God, this is do or die, because I was alone. I didn't know what this thing was after me for. And moreover, if you needed money, you wouldn't be running after me like this. So I was so scared. A little girl. This place was so quiet and it was on a Sunday. So I started running. I ran like there was no tomorrow. I ran like that was my last time on earth. Thank God the place I was going to fetch water was close by, but then I got a little cut from the roofing sheet, because when you're stamping, if you're not careful, like the slight mistake you do, your leg can just tilt, and then that roofing sheet can just cut you. I do have a lot of cuts actually on my legs, very bad. Each and each story, had a cut, and that didn't stop me. I just kept going, because if I don't go, what do you expect me to do? I'm not the Pharaoh type. I'm the go-getter type of person. So I wouldn't stand there for this thing to come in. At least before you even get me, I need to put in some effort. I don't know. That was how I was since childhood. I have that kind of mindset. So I kept running, and thank God where I'm going to fetch the water is close by. Just that I'll have to go through a path. The road is kind of rough sort of thing. And I kept going and going and going. And even when I got to a place where there was a house there, I realized that no one was around, so I just ran straight to where they fetch the water. Thank God where we normally fetch water, you see people around there also fetching water. I just ran inside the house. I didn't even check. Normally that's not what you do, because it is somebody's house. Their gate is normally open because they have their main tap inside. So sometimes even when you go like on a Sunday and no one is there, they do close the tap from inside. So that way you ask, the shop is closed by, so you ask, can I go in? But that day I needed a place to hide, so I just went straight inside the house, and that was it. And I kept asking if the masquerade is gone, if the masquerade, they were like, oh, the masquerade just got close by and then left, that they don't think the masquerade is after me. I'm like, hey, I was like, you have no idea where I'm coming from. So that was actually what happened. And up to date, I really don't know that masquerade that chased me. I went back to school the following week, I mean that Monday, and then I asked the boy, was like, oh, he wasn't the one. But I still believe that he should be the one, because he told me that he will come after me. And the funny thing is, they do know, like, I don't know, my colleagues in school, they know where we fetch water, like those who live by. So maybe it was a trap thing. And even as at that time, the masquerades weren't really in town. So what were you doing that Sunday with a masquerade attire, and then you came after me? And even that cane was what scared me the most. And I really don't know which masquerade came after me or what was the purpose. But I do sometimes think that, what if this masquerade actually had a hold of me? This person can rape me. It could have been my mate, it could have not been my mate. I mean, whatever it is, I don't know. So that was my masquerade story. So the moral of the story is, make sure you don't give up. When you're being chased, don't stop till you get there. At least it's best trying than not trying. Imagine if I had stopped, I don't know what this masquerade would have done to me. And besides, that place, that route, the route I used was so quiet. So when I got home, I actually told my mom about it. But I mean, what are we going to do about, what can we do about it? It's tradition, it happens. And where I was to was Idiroko, Ogun State. It happened. So it's not now. Before, there are so many masquerades, we don't know which one chased me. So that was what happened. But then going back home that day was another thing. I had to use the main roadside route. In fact, I even told the lady, which is the owner of, she's the wife of the landlady of where we fetched the water. I even told her that she should get someone to escort me, you know. So that was it, you know. Now thinking about it and replaying it, it just brought back so many memories, and I kind of feel something in my body, you know. And with my door opening, I don't know why I felt a little bit scared, but I don't think anyone would come in. I mean, so that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this story time. I do have more interesting one, especially with the oral one. The oral one, I feel safe saying it because I'm in Ghana, because I grew up with a mentality that, I remember that time when you see a fly on the wall, that means the fly is going to tell the king that you've mentioned the name. You don't easily, I mean, that was the kids' mentality. I don't know if it's still there, I don't know how true it is, but then I'm going to be telling you guys that story time. So make sure you give this video a good thumbs up, and then like my video, subscribe, so that you'll be notified when I upload that story time. Yeah, and do follow my social media platforms. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.